Let's break this down now by dollars and cents, looking at depreciation, maintenance and repairs, fuel costs, and so on between a 5 and 10 year period, because these are real numbers that you need to understand. A Mazda CX-5 will depreciate in value about $14,000 after 5 years. Now that's hard to avoid, but it can be managed. Depreciation is the difference between the original sales price and what the vehicle will be worth in the future. When new, a typically equipped Mazda CX-5 sells for just over $31,000 on average. After 5 years of depreciation, the average residual value will be $17,244. Interestingly enough, the average cost of owning one for 5 years is $33,444, and I'll break down exactly how that works out. First of all, the average annual cost for auto insurance on a CX-5 is about $1,400 a year, which adds up to almost $7,000 after 5 years of ownership. These insurance costs are estimates that are based on a national average for a 40-year-old with full coverage, good driving record, and good credit. They also assume a single car policy and won't reflect any multi-car discounts. Maintenance now. Maintenance and repair costs amount to around $2,000 after 5 years. Expenses include scheduled maintenance, normal wear and tear items, and expected repairs, excluding any free warranty work that's performed. The average cost to finance one is around $3,600 after 5 years, assuming that you put 20% down, have an APR of 4.75%, and you have a 72-month loan. Of course, you can get something a lot lower if you go to a credit union or don't have to worry about putting money down. So if you look at it, a CX-5 will depreciate 45% after 5 years and have a 5-year resale value, again, $17,244. Generally speaking, a CX-5 does mediocre when it comes to holding its value, but it's not a standout one way or the other. It's also in the middle of the pack when compared to other Mazda models. Better than the 3, but not as good as the 6 or the MX-5. It's also difficult to pick out a model year that is attractive, as the depreciation is slow and steady throughout its useful life. So if you buy one, which is great, make sure you purchase it at the right price, as its value decline will be significant. In fact, this chart here shows the expected depreciation over the next 10 years on a CX-5. These results are for vehicles in good condition, averaging 12,000 miles per year. It also assumes a selling price of just over $31,000 when new. So if you're wondering about buying it brand new or used, consider this. A used CX-5 that's 2 years old could save you about $7,500 compared to buying new, and you'd still have a pretty new model with plenty of useful life remaining. But if you want to keep the vehicle for 3 years, then your total cost of depreciation after 3 would be around $6,500. Last but not least, what's the best model year to buy a CX-5? Well, the 2020 is actually the best pick based on model year value. With the 2020, you would only pay on average 78% of the price as new, with 92% of the vehicle's useful life remaining. Take a look at this chart. The 2018 and 2019 model years are also attractive and provide a relatively good value based on a multiple number of factors, including its price as new, the current price, its maintenance costs, which I touched on, and remaining years of overall predictable expenses. I have no problem recommending and encouraging you to test drive a CX-5. It's got sharp handling, precise steering, and powerful brakes. The CX-5 is one of the most enjoyable compact SUVs you can drive and buy. It's priced higher than most of its competitors, so it may not be the best value overall, but it is a good vehicle. So here's what's new with this universally accepted and fun to drive compact crossover SUV. First of all models now come standard with all-wheel drive, updated front and rear styling, minor suspension upgrades, transmission upgrades as well for better performance. The Turbo 4's engine horsepower increases by 6 to 256 horses when using premium fuel, and the Grand Touring Reserve trim is now called Turbo, and the seats have been updated to be more supportive. Pros and cons. Pros. As I mentioned, all-wheel drive now part of the deal. Optional turbocharged engine provides plenty of power. It is quiet at highway speeds. It looks and feels more premium than rivals inside and out. Beautifully sculpted and drives like a premium European crossover. On the con side, the base engine has lackluster acceleration. The ride could be a little firm for the class. Less rear legroom and cargo room than most competitors, especially the CR-V. There's no hybrid version, and it can only tow up to 2,000 pounds. Your rivals, by the way, the Volkswagen Tiguan, Hyundai Tucson, RAV4, the Bronco Sport, Honda CR-V, and the Subaru Forester. You'll find 8 trim levels with the CX-5 in 2022. Price range between $26,000 and $38,000 and change, but you have to add about $1,200 for the destination charge. There is the base, select, preferred, carbon edition, premium, premium plus, turbo, and turbo signature. There are 2 engines available under the hood, one at a time, of course. A 2.5-liter inline-4, 187 horses, 186 pound-feet of torque, fuel economy 24 city, 30 on the highway. There's the 2.5-liter turbocharged inline-4, 227 horses, 310 pound-feet of torque, fuel economy 22 city, 27 on the highway. And just in case you were thinking about going off-road in this now all-wheel drive, the ground clearance 7.5 inches. Every model has a 10.3-inch infotainment display that's primarily used through a rotary controller and volume knob on the center console, not my favorite. The interface also operates through voice commands and buttons on the steering wheel. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto are standard across the board. Cargo space now, 30.9 cubic feet behind the back row. When folded down, 59.6. Compare that to the CR-V. The CR-V has 37.6 behind the back row, 75.8 when all are folded down. A couple of the key safety features include standard automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, standard lane departure warning and lane keeping assist, and standard adaptive cruise control. One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.